Being on the jury, I still have a voice in this game. I'm still playing a role. I still have to determine. I still have a big part in determining who's actually going to win this game and take home the big money. And it's something I don't take lightly. I wanted to be there at the end, but if I can't and I get a say in it, I'm going to take that decision seriously. I'm trying to separate emotion out of it. The final three is Denise, Lisa, and Scoopin tonight. Got to vote for one of them, as much as it pains you. So you can look at Scoopin and say, this guy's had a huge target on his back for a long time. Returning player. From day one, people wanted to boot him out of his tribe. But he's fought through. He's won some challenges when he needed to. He managed to get in with a good alliance that really carried him through the middle of this game, and he won a clutch final immunity to get him to the end. He has an argument that's going to center around his physical game and the size of the target on his back. And he's going to have to be eloquent tonight because a lot of people are going to be gunning for him. But if he can put the pieces together, he's got a real shot at this thing. Lisa uh, floated along for a long time. She's going to have some of the same things to say as Scoopin might. Lisa's going to say that she was a target from the beginning. Lisa's going to need to sell a sob story that she was crying on day 2 out here. She was targeted by everybody as the older woman and how she bounced back. Hers is going to be she's going to try to pull a tearjerker on everybody. She's going to try to ride people's emotions to get their votes about how rough this was for her and her underdog sort of story out here. She's going to talk about trying to make moves. She was trying to get rid of me in particular for a long time in this game, and she finally pulled it off at the very end. That's a big nod in her favor, and my opinion being the guy that she got. But it really is something that she can point to and say she made a strategic play. And if Lisa plays her cards right, she has a great story. Underdog, completely down in the dumps on day 1, and at the end she took out the biggest player on the night before the final tribal council. If she plays her cards right and Lisa tells the story like she needs to, I could see her swaying a few people and giving her a real shot at this thing. And then you have Denise, my day 2 partner in crime. Denise's argument's gonna be a lot different than what Lisa or Scoopin's gonna say. Denise came from Matt Singh, completely destroyed at the beginning of this game. Had to go into Calabao and outlast all 3 of their girls. Denise went to every tribal council in this game. If there's an underdog, I mean, she's gonna have her picture next to underdog in the dictionary after this thing's done. She, she's won immunity challenges. She is a very smooth talker. She's a hard worker around camp. And you know what? She's really kept her hands clean in a lot of this chaos. And all the fighting that's been going on and all the squabbles and all the shifting of alliances, she's managed to float the middle and, kind of stay out of the fray and navigate her way to the end, which is, impressive in any, scenario out here. So on paper going into this thing, Denise might be the favorite. But in my opinion, she's going to have to come out with some fire. She can't go into this final tribal and really try to play nice like she's been for 39 days. She can't try to keep an even keel and just make everybody happy. She's going to have to come out swinging and throw a few haymakers to knock out the other 2 and get this win. If she comes out trying to play nice and too concerned with everybody's feelings and not stepping up and taking credit for some of the really impressive things she's done in this game, she might lose the money, in my opinion. When you look at Lisa, Denise, and Scoopin, you have 3 people with, on the surface, very similar backgrounds. They're older generation, all in their 40s. Scoopin just turned 50. All have families. All of them have kids, married. All have jobs, careers. They have like these really set in stone lives that they have to go back to when they're out of here. So there's not that much difference to really draw from or make a decision there. The personalities, though, in a lot of ways are very different. Scoopin's a 50-year-old child, in my opinion. Not an analytical bone in his body. Total reckless abandon when it comes to anything in his life. It's charming for a few days, and then it really wears on you, and it's weared on a lot of people out here. His, really, the wheels just don't move as fast between his ears. The cogs aren't spinning a lot of the time, and it really is taxing for a lot of people to... especially when you're trying to deal with them strategically towards the end of the game, it can really be tiresome. Lisa rides her emotions. Lisa's gets caught up in them in a bad way a lot. She lets it get in the way of her analytical thinking, of her strategic thinking out here. if she's gonna go with what's in her heart instead of her head. For 37 days, that was true out here. Whatever she felt was the right move, morally, ethically, I don't know, emotionally. That's how she reacted, and that's not something a lot of game players are gonna respect. And then there's Denise. Denise is a therapist in real life, and she's practiced at keeping her emotions out of situations and really drawing them out of others. It's a skill that she's used to her advantage in this game, and it's something that's worked to her benefit. People like talking about themselves, especially the people that are going to be out here in this situation. And she's really used her skills of getting people to talk about themselves to mask a lot of her personal traits or things that she doesn't want people to know about her life. And people have keyed in on it. People have realized that Denise, we don't know a lot about Denise. People are looking at each other, what'd she do? What's the story with Denise? Nobody really knows. She's a bit of a wild card then. And she's going to take some flack for it at the final tribal. But it's a selling point in my book if she comes out and says it, that she really managed to keep a lot of her personality out of this game and play it cool and collected, very much unlike the other two did. That's a selling point for me to give her my vote, but she's gonna have to come out and say it, and that might be tricky for her. That might be difficult for her. Since I can't have the money, and somebody's got to, and it's gonna be who played the best game or the next best game. Whoever I think played the most strategically, whoever dominated the most, whoever balanced outwit and outplay. They've all shown they can outlast, but that's not necessarily enough to get my vote. You need to show me that you had some control over the events. You need to show me that you came into this thinking strategically. You need to take ownership for what you did, and you need to tell me your story and sell it to me as to why you're the best and most deserving for $1 million.